Speaking of kind of the pandemic, there's one scene when you have like a gas mask on. Were you able to smuggle that out? I feel like that might be useful at some point in the future, given kind of how this world is going. Were you able to get that out of there, or is that back in
Oh,
the
that
prop
that
department?
gas mask was a prop, and it was a bad prop. I mean, not bad prop, but like straight up, I couldn't see out of it. Like it was, there was no way that was going to protect me from any real poison gas.
Hey everyone, this is David Stark from Watch Our Pass, and today I'm joined by Jackson Rathbone, who plays Walsh in Warhunt, which is coming to theaters on demand and digital on January 21st, 2022. We're going to talk to him in just a second, but first, let's check out the trailer. And while you're watching, if you can like and subscribe to this channel, that would be fantastic. Also, meant a lot. Thank you. Thanks so much for joining me. This is Jackson Rathbone, who plays Walsh in Warhunt, which is coming to theaters, VOD, and digital on January 21st, 2022. It is a World War II movie, I guess, but there's a lot of supernatural elements and a whole lot of horror and thriller. So thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, thank you for having me. And yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. It's a World War II period film, but it's imbued with the supernatural. So get
Yeah,
to fight some Nazis and some mystical forces as well.
I mean, yeah. So why fight one when you can fight both, right?
Well, I mean, there you got to fight evil wherever you can see it.
Exactly. And I loved it because it felt like the World War II side gave it more style, right? Like it wasn't needed per se, but it gave it like a really interesting setting, and you got all the really cool like World War II weapons and uniforms. So it gave it like more of a, I don't know, authenticity is the wrong word, but it felt more stylish than kind of your generic lost group of campers come upon witches and have to survive. Like it gave it a little bit more meaning behind it.
It's interesting. That's what I love about the horror genre is its ability to subvert other genres, and also for it to be just kind of so fluid. You can have a horror film set in a family setting. You can have it set in a cabin in the woods. You can have it be mystical, or you can have it be part of a wartime drama. I think the horrors that we see in war directly parallel the horrors that we can find in any horror film. So yeah, it felt like just kind of like a natural meeting of genre.
Yeah, definitely. And the parallel point is very interesting because yeah, like if you replace monsters with enemy soldiers, it's probably similar types of activities, but one is obviously much more horrible on screen than the other, right? We're kind of okay with one, less okay with the other, I would think.
Yeah, I think we're kind of in kind of like this certain naturalness to hating an enemy. It's definitely with a film like this, we want to make it entertaining. It's this is a hopefully an escapist film where you just go and you have an hour and a half of being with these group of guys trying to figure out what the hell's going on. I think we discover a lot as an audience alongside these characters who are also discovering a lot. And then there's a few characters with secrets, like this guy.
There you go. And so speaking of kind of what's going on, how did this come across your desk? How did you get involved in this movie? Had you worked with any of the people involved, or did it just seem like a cool role that you wanted to try out for?
Well, the casting director, I've auditioned for her many, many, many times since I was a young actor, and they sent me the offer for Walsh, and they gave me the log line, War Hunt, like the World War II American soldiers going behind enemy lines and discovering these supernatural forces, trying to defeat Nazis and witches, and then that they had already attached Mickey Rourke and Robert Knepper, and that's what kind of tipped the scales to me saying yes. I'll put it that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, the opportunity to go hang out with them and make an interesting movie, but also just kind of be around them, I feel like would be enough to tip anyone's scales.
Exactly. It's I always try to pick my roles for a variety of reasons, but the main thing is it something I haven't done before, and is it something I can learn from? And if I can work with an actor that I've admired for years, then hell yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, and Mickey specifically seems like, I don't know, he seems like he'd just be a cool, like he's a great actor. He seems like he'd also just be a cool person to hang around, just to like be around and be in his aura. So what was that like now that you were able to kind of work with someone you'd wanted to for years?
Man, I'll tell you, there's a great a great disappointment of the film for me. We were filming during the pandemic, and so we had to take a big 2-month hiatus, and there was a scheduling conflict between Mickey and me. And so whenever we were able to come back, we had to film his scenes separately than whenever I was able to come back into the country,
Oh, no.
because of legalities and bureaucracy. So I signed up to go do this movie with Mickey Rourke, and here I am acting with his stand-in, and so I never got to actually, honestly, I never got to shake his hand, which is a great bummer for me. The only thing that made up for it was the fact that Robert Knepper was an equally elder gentleman of acting, and just an incredible performer. So I was able to learn a lot, and I'm lucky enough to be able to call Mr. Knepper a friend now.
There you go. And with movie magic, I couldn't even tell that you and Mickey were never in the same room. That's pretty impressive.
It's insane. My wife, who was there with me, like when I was filming, she watched the movie with me the other night and was like, I still can't believe that you guys didn't actually film one day together. And I was like, yep, that's the nature of the beast.
There you go, Hollywood magic. And yeah, Robert Knepper, he seems like he would also be a really cool person. Although his characters always, I mean, he's such a fantastic actor. He always plays like characters with a little bit of a twisted nature to them. But I can't, I imagine he just outside of his acting persona is just a really, great person to be around.
Oh, he's great. We would go out for dinners and just kind of talk theology and mysticism and poetry and theater, because he's a very accomplished theater actor, and he's just so intelligent, and he really takes his roles seriously. Everything he does, he tries to deliver something unique and interesting, and he was great. He was so much fun to play with.
Yeah, he seems like, I mean, just some of the stories, like some of the characters he's played just must be fun to reminisce about and things like that.
Oh yeah, we talked about some Prison Break stuff for sure.
Prison Break is I mean, I think that was the breakout role for him, but that was a fun and also kind of like blood curdling character to watch.
Oh, he's so terrible. It's hard because he'd be like, yeah, Knepper would tell me, he's like, I always find it weird. People tell me that I was their favorite character in Prison Break, because I was like, I'm a pretty bad dude. But he's such a great actor, and he's just got that face and that voice, and he's I love him.
And your character is kind of an outsider to this, the main group of soldiers. Was there anything done to, like, I don't know, increase that? Did you come on like after they had been training for a little bit or shooting for a little bit? Was there any, or was that just all acting like you're like, okay, I'm the outsider, I'll this is my role, and everyone kind of adjusts to that?
Honestly, yeah, we didn't have a lot of time for rehearsals on this particular film, because of budget constraints and all that. But I came into it a little bit behind, and so yeah, I kind of kept my distance at first, because we nearly filmed chronologically, which is very rare. So at first, the first week or so, I tried to be a little bit more. Taking my lunches in my trailer and kind of being a little bit more aloof on set. But I love making movies so much that it's, and I'm not a method actor. I believe in method in the moment, but carrying it with you the whole time is just, I'm not going to pass judgment on it. However, I can only do about a week, and then I was just like, I like these guys. They're good guys, and I want to, So I want to give a sense of, aloofness and kind of being a little mysterious, but I really feel like, you can trust each other more, and you can do more when you trust each other, as opposed to, you don't know what sorry, I was about to curse. You don't know what someone's going to do. I don't know. I believe in trust, and I believe in collaboration is the key to a good film, hopefully.
Yeah, no, definitely. In this film, you kind of have to rely on them as the film progresses. You rely on them, and there's also some stunts and pyrotechnics and things like that. So yeah, there definitely has to be a sense of trust. I wonder if it was easier for you to kind of remain aloof at the start, because you said this was filmed during the pandemic. Maybe that was just you, like in the natural order of things, like you're just like a little bit more standoffish because you're not used to being around people, as none of us were. I've heard from a lot of people that when they did a film during the pandemic, it was weird at the start, and then it just kind of like eventually was wonderful to be around people and kind of not have to worry because everyone was cleared and they had all the protocols in place.
Well, this was interesting because this was actually we started filming during the very early days of the first wave, I guess you could say. We started filming, and then it started getting crazy, and so in parallel to the film, where we have a group of soldiers and they're getting picked off one by one by these supernatural forces. During filming, we had actors dropping out of the film to go be with their loved ones because the virus had hit their country or had infiltrated their families, and so it was definitely some real fear on the film, and so that kind of brought together a certain sense of camaraderie, and it was another reason I didn't want to be fully aloof within the filmmaking, because especially when you're making a film in these sorts of situations, you really need each other to be all on the same page, to be like, okay, well, we're making this film and it's hard to film in the woods, and where the whole world's going through something the world's never really been through before. It's important to trust each other, and to also allow each other to be a little bit, because we were all discovering. I mean, we still are. We're all discovering how to deal with this crazy stuff. But when you're making a movie, there are protocols in place, but this is before that, and then we had to take a 2-month hiatus and then come back to filming, and that's when all the protocols were in place. We're getting tested all the time. Everybody's wearing the gloves and getting measured. But we filmed in Latvia, and there was very, 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 very few cases there. Kind of a remote enough country, so it felt safe once we were back.
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of, yes, that's a different kind of scary when you have all this unknown surrounding the film, but you're trying to sit there and make a good product. So it feels like, yeah, well, I must have had some torn emotions. Speaking of kind of the pandemic, there's one scene when you have like a gas mask on. Were you able to smuggle that out? I feel like that might be useful at some point in the future, given kind of how this world is going. Were you able to get that out of there, or is that
oh, that gas mask was a prop, and it was a bad prop. I mean, not bad prop, but like straight up, I couldn't see out of it. Like there was no way that was going to protect me from any real poison gas, or like even if I honestly think that, like, if my 5-year-old daughter made a mask out of paper, it would have done a better job than that gas mask in the movie. But no, it was fun. It was hard since, like, so there's a part of the movie, I don't want to reveal too much, but where I have the mask and the goggles, and I'm setting things on fire, and that was a real torch and real fire, and I couldn't see. And I kept telling them, I was like, this is dangerous, y'all. Like, you let me know. Like, you make sure that there's a guy with a fire extinguisher following me around closely, because I can't see anything.
There you go. Well, that's real danger right there in the movie, but right on screen.
Oh yeah, there's a few times. There's a few, but yeah, it was fun, man. Thanks for watching it. I appreciate it.
Of course, yeah. No, I love a good kind of escapist movie. This was a lot of fun to watch. Now I know we have limited time, so I'm gonna switch. I call it the lightning round. They're just very lightweight questions about the film. I want to see how your experiences map on the things that happen in the film. You can feel free not to answer them. I will not be offended, but I try to keep them very answerable.
Okay.
First question is: would you rather fight witches, Nazis, or in a callback to kind of your claim to fame role, vampires?
Nazis.
Nazis. Yeah, easy answer. In the movie, yeah. Mickey Rourke, you were kind of Mickey Rourke's protege. Do you have like someone that has kind of looked out for you during your career, or helped you kind of rise up in acting? It sounds like you're, I don't know, casting director you'd worked with before. You mentioned someone that you worked with before. So has there been anything like that in your career?
Oh man, there's too many. I'd say a particular person, Jeremiah Comey. He's a wonderful film coach, and he wrote a great book on acting. So his name's Jeremiah Comey. He's great.
Awesome.
Mentor.
Very cool. In the film, Mickey had like this sweet gold eye patch. That was kind of his like signature item. Do you have like a signature item that you have like for your personal life, something that you wear that you associate with, or something that you wear for like good luck?
Ooh, no, not really. I have a very simple wardrobe. I keep myself in black t-shirts and black pants, and that's pretty much my closet. So I try to keep it real simple. I don't like to make no decisions on fashion.
There you go. Yeah, nothing flashy. You just let yourself do the talking, right?
Yeah, well.
In the movie, the group is searching for, it's called like the Tree of Life. Would you, if you could go back to being young again, would you turn back the clock if you could, or do you like kind of where you are and being at age you are?
Oh man, I look back and I love where I am at now, especially from a mental standpoint. I think I was a little crazy in my 20s. I know I was a little crazy in my 20s. And before that, I was a young punk, man. I was in punk bands. I want to be a punk musician. And when it comes to the Tree of Life, I mean, would I like to stay healthy forever? Yes, of course. But I try to make sure I eat extremely clean. I exercise, and I do the simple things that literally doctors say is the fountain of youth. It's like you
There you
drink water, drink a lot of water. It's the fountain of youth right there. It's right in front of us, but we all choose to drink, sodas and teas and coffees. It's like hydrate. Hydration is the most important thing. Stay young.
There you go. Sounds like you learned from your past, and now you're doing your own regimen to stay young. There we go.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah. It's
perfect.
like I drink like 8 of these a day, just water, man.
Awesome. So the movie is Warhunt. It's coming to theaters, digital, and on demand on January 21st, 2022. And you can check it out either in theaters if you're comfortable or you're at home. This has been Jackson Rathbone. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me. Enjoy the
Awesome.
film.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was Jackson Rathbone talking about Warhunt, which is coming to theaters, on demand, and digital on January 21st, 2022. It is a World War II film that has supernatural aspects, horror aspects, and just kind of a fun escapist story. If you like this interview, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.